Good evening, everyone. Once again, of course, it's your boy, it's your friend, it's the credit doctor, Angelo McCutcheon, coming to you with another quick video on the credit repair process. And of course, we shout out to all of our credit repair followers. We shout out to all of you guys who like and subscribe to our videos. To all that good stuff that you have here. So whether you're watching this on my Facebook page or whether you're watching this on my YouTube page, come on in the room. Make sure if you're on YouTube, you subscribed. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Likewise on Facebook, make sure you hit that share button. And let's share this video. Today we're going to be talking about student loans. Yeah, let's talk about student loans. Many people are confused about student loans and how they actually work, or when they're, showing up, when they go into default, you fall behind making your payments, and they start reporting as a negative on your credit report. Now, of course, when that happens, oh my God, you take a hit for that. Your credit score can go down by as much as 100 to 150 points just for having student loans reporting as a negative on your credit report. Now, we know that when you take out student loans, when we talk about student loans, we're referring to government student loans. We're not talking about, I just put the wrong thing in here. Let me just remove something here. Okay, sorry about that. I had the wrong scroll going on there. Okay, so when we're talking about student loans, we are talking about government student loans. We're not talking about private student loans. We can talk about that on another day, but we're talking about government student loans. Those are the ones that will follow you to the grave. You just cannot take out a student loan and not pay them back. Right? The government be after their money until you go into the grave. So even if you get it removed from your credit report, you still owe the government that money. All right. So that we want to make that clear. What we're only referring to is how can I get it off of my credit report? And there are ways you can get it off of your the negative side of your credit report without paying the student loan off. Now, eventually, you do want to pay off your student loan, right? That's a given. You do want to pay it off. But the issue is if it's affected me on my credit report because I went into default, is there a way that I can take care of that without them asking me to pay the whole balance? And I'm here to tell you that yes, there are a couple of ways that it can be dealt with depending on how it's reporting on your credit report. Now remember, just because it's government student loans does not mean that they don't follow the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which is the laws that govern what can go on your credit report and how it can go on your credit report. So whether it's the Fair Credit Reporting Act or the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, there are some guidelines that has to be obeyed no matter who the lender is. All right, so we want to make that very clear, because sometimes people think, well, it's a government student loan, so they can do what they want, they can report what they want. No, they have to abide by the law, by their own law, basically, on how they report information. Now, what I see a lot of times when it comes to credit reports is people are not aware of that when it goes into default, that the government, United States Department of Education, does have a program that helps you get that negative reporting student loan off there and starts reporting on the positive side of your credit report. And that program is called the rehabilitation loan. And it's not something that the government, when you're talking to them about, paying your loans, that they don't always mention that. A lot of times they'll just talk to you about putting it into forbearance and, those other types of loans that put the money, where you don't have to pay it, but it continues to increase interest and stuff like that, and it'll continue to report as a negative on your credit report. Well, the rehabilitation loan is a program that was set up by the government for people whose loans went into default. And what that program basically says, or the way they set that program up, is they will say, based on your income, right? They're going to go solely based on your income. So everybody's will be different. Payment plan. They'll set up a payment plan based on your income, and it could be anywhere from 0 payments a month all the way up to, well, I can say up to as depending on how much you make, really. So I've seen it go from $5. I shouldn't say zero. Say $5 a month. I've seen some people pay like $150 a month, depending on their income. So it could be anywhere in there. And basically, what they do is they set it up, and they will tell you, okay, you want to make if you can make 9 straight monthly payments. One payment a month for 9 months straight consecutively. You can't miss a month. If you do that on the 10th month, they will remove it from the negative side of your credit report, and they will put it on the positive side of your credit report. Now, what does that do? As far as you cleaning up your credit, it will push your score up, because that was that's a big thing to have student loans reporting as a negative. So now your score will shoot up because it's no longer reporting as a negative account. It'll increase your score, and then you're set up to continue to make payments on that account, with it now reporting as a positive. So that's one way that you can, legally get a student loan off of your credit report when it's reporting as a negative. All right. So it's called the rehabilitation loan. You got to ask them about it. You have to call up the Department of Education. You not necessarily want to call up NetLet or, some of them other branches, services that handle it. Right? You don't want to call it. Make sure you call the U.S. Department of Education, not NetLet, or I can't think of some of the other ones, services that kind of take over collecting the money from the student loan. But you want to make sure you contact directly U.S. Department of Education. All you got to do is Google their name, get the number, and then they'll walk you through it. But you got to mention that you like to get set up through their rehabilitation loan, and they'll set that up for you. All right, so that's one way. The second way that you deal with student loans being reported on your credit report. So for instance, if you had NetLet, right, on your credit report, and NetLet, right, after a while reporting it on your credit report, decides that they're going to sell it to somebody else, or they're going to give it over to, not sell it, but give it over to somebody else. I'm trying to think of some of them the people that collects debt on behalf of the United States. So it's NetLet, and it's somebody was on here to help me out, but it's NetLet, and I just want to think. So let's just say, for an example, not say NetLet, but let's just say, it's right on the tip of my tongue, but I just can't get it. It's just on the tip of my tongue, but I can't get it. Right, so let's just say NetLet sells it to somebody else. Right, no, I just keep saying sell it. I'm thinking about debt collectors. Let's say NetLet now services over to somebody else to collect the student loan debt. So they're going to close it out. Right, it's going to be reported like 120 days late, or 160 days late, or 100 or 30 days late, whatever. Now, when they close out the account and they give it to somebody else to go after the student loan, they cannot, and listen to me, they cannot report that it is 30 days late, 60 days late, 90 days late, 120 days late. They cannot report any late payments or saying that it was late these amount of times. Once they close the account and give it to somebody else, they have to take that off. If they don't take that off, and here's where it comes to the credit bureaus. If the credit bureaus report that, then they will be, the credit bureaus, not the student loan, the credit bureaus will be in violation of the law for reporting a late status to an account that was closed and transferred to another agency to collect a student loan debt. Now, we see that a lot, and I'm going to tell you who's big on that. TransUnion and Equifax. If you go and look at your student loan on your credit report, and if it's in default, and if it's not the Department of Education, it could be the Department of Education. Okay, so let's say they give it back to the Department of Education, right? That's what I could think of. Now, they close out the account. Go check this out, because a lot of you guys will see this on your credit report. It'll say close. It'll give you the month and year that it was closed, and then it'll give you a status. And they might say 120 days late. right? The status, basically the current status, 120 days late or 190 days late or even 30 days late. When you see that, and typically TransUnion and Equifax reports that, that is a violation of the law. And guess what? You can actually sue them for reporting that information as it being a violation of the law. Now, that is one with our attorneys. That is one. In the last 4 years, we have sued TransUnion and Equifax over and over and over and over and over and over again for reporting that information. And our clients, and again, when we say we sue them, our attorneys on behalf of our clients sue them. And our client, that item will get deleted from the credit report. That's the second way I'm telling you how it gets deleted. It gets deleted from your credit report. And because of the violation, a lot of times you get monetary damages, which could be anywhere from $300 to $1,000 or $1,500, I should say, $300 to $1,500 per violation. And sometimes people have that reporting. Now, just imagine TransUnion reporting 3 of your accounts like that. And each one is a violation. Because, sometimes the student loans, they break it up, right? So you might have like 4 or 5, even though it's one payment, but it's broken up into 3 or 4 different accounts that you're making payments to. So if each one of those accounts from TransUnion and Equifax are reporting that, let's just say it was NetLet, and NetLet closed the account, and let's say in 2015 or 2020, whatever, right? And it says close and transferred, which means they, gave it to another agency, let's say Department of Education. Once that happens, they cannot report a late status payment. But they do, and they do it all the time. And if you see that, quickly get you a consumer attorney, right? And dispute that information first. Tell them that they can't put it, and if it continues to stay there, a consumer lawyer would jump on that and file a lawsuit in a heartbeat. So that's another way that you can get a government student loan removed from your credit report. Doesn't mean you still don't owe the debt. We just talking about getting it removed from your credit report so you can improve your credit scores. That's what we're talking about here. We're not talking about the debt goes away forever, right? So understand that just because you have student loans reporting as a negative on your credit report does not mean there is nothing you can do about it. We just gave you 2 options how to deal with that. One is call the Department of Education and set up a payment plan, which is through the rehabilitation loan, the rehabilitation payment, I should say, or something like that. And they will set that up, 9 straight payments, they will remove it. But if you see it from NetLet or any one of them other service providers that collect on behalf of the student loan, and you see that they closed their account and they transferred it to somebody else, then look at the status. Are they reporting a late status, a current late status? If they are, then that's a violation and they can be sued just for doing that. All right, so I just wanted to drop that knowledge down to you guys. Again, if you're watching this, even on a replay, if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, as we're coming to give you information you need to help you understand that you do not have to live with bad credit. If you're watching this on Facebook Live, please hit the share button. If anybody's interested in a free consultation, Facebook, just inbox me. YouTube, you can always just, put a comment. I would love a consultation, and I will reach back out to you. Give me your email address or ways that you can connect, and we can do that. All consultations are done over the phone. They're free, and we will go over your credit reports, give you ways on how you can improve it. If you're interested in our services, we can talk to you about that. But in the meantime, you can also follow me, or everything will be in the description under this video. You can follow me on my podcast. I have a podcast called The Credit Repair Show. Over 40 episodes on there. You can find that on any podcast platform: Spotify, iTunes, Google, Google Podcasts, and all those other ones. Where we're not ranked number 1, we're close to being ranked number 1. Our show now in 11 countries, have been heard in 11 countries, and we've reached thousands of people. We got over close to 5,000 downloads, and we just basically started that maybe 6 months ago, back in April, I think it was. We just started it. So you can follow us there. If you want to follow us in our Facebook group, business page, business credit page, it's all going to be in the description. All right. And you can connect with us any way you see how. But most of all, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and just follow us. With that said, we want to thank you, and we say to everyone, as always, have a blessed day. Stay blessed. Whatever you do, stay blessed. But what's even more important is that you are a blessing. And until we come back with our next podcast, and you guys let me know, my YouTube people, let me know if you like to come on live with me. What's the best time for me to do the podcast? Do our lives here on YouTube. It's at 7 o'clock in the evening, 8 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Because right now I don't have a set standard time, but if you guys tell me, we can work with that. All right? Have a blessed day.